Hi, good morning. It's Tandy, the Canadian Stamper. This is what we're working with today. Peaceful Deer. We're going to use some of the designer series paper that came with the celebration item. And I have a new stamp and a new ink pad that I'm going to show you how these go together quickly. And we're going to make a Christmas card. So I've listed a couple of the classes and the newsletter free download for you in the comments. And we're just gonna jump right in. We're jumping right in. So like I say, we're gonna use this. I'm gonna use the sentiment here, Merry Christmas to you. And we're gonna use the dies. What are these dies called? Contour dies? Something? Scallop contour dies. That was so close. I use this one a lot. The scalloped edge one, for sure. And then we're gonna use this, I'm just gonna reposition this a bit. I'm gonna use this. This is a free download. The link is in the comments. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna use this. There's a lot of layers to this one. Let's do it. Let's get into it. So I have my trimmer and I have a piece of basic black. How's my camera? I'm just gonna come up a bit. I feel like I'm discombobulated. And we're gonna score at, oh, I gotta bring up my comments and whatnot. We're gonna score at 4 1/4. And 4 1/4. So the stamping trimmer has two blades. Two options. One is a cutter, one is a scoring blade. And we're gonna fold that and set it to the side. And then, excuse me, on the card base, I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler next. To use my bone folder here and crease that down. So this is Cherry Cobbler, which matches our designer series paper. So this is how you use this cheat sheet. And if you want one of these rings, just message me and I'll pop one in the mail for you. Because I bought a whole box of them from Amazon, so that's why I have a bunch. So then this is the layering technique. So this is typically the first layer. This card base is not right. How big is this? Aha! I grabbed this from my black paper and it's too wide. Okay. This. See how that fits perfectly on there? And then it's got the numbers, so you just know. So that's how big I need to make my Cherry Cobbler, 4 by 5 1/4. So let's do 5 1/4 first. By 4. I suppose you could memorize all of these. It's just 1/4 inch down, like so. All right, so because this is black, we want to make sure that we're putting some layers on the inside. So in the sample that I am casing from another demonstrator in the States, she has white, oh, pardon me, she's got red. So let's go with Cherry Cobbler. I need another piece. Cherry, and I'm gonna do the exact same measurement because the inside is the same. So if you're just joining, we're using the Peaceful Deer and I'm making a Christmas card. I'm jumping right into it today. I was looking back over some of my videos and I was thinking to myself, we're gonna do a lot of talking here, jibber jabbering. Just get to the project. Okay, so then on the inside, and on the outside. This is the second, this will be the second layer, this one here. Good morning, Kyle. So see how it just, I don't know, I find it super helpful. So I'm going to cut the white now at 5 3 3/4. So sometimes to clean out this track, I'll use my pokey tool or this one, or you can use a piece of cardstock and run it along. It's best to hold it up so that it falls out. Mess myself up here. 3 3/4 by 5. And then this will go on the inside like that. Nailed it. Okay, so then this one is gonna go like this. Now, excuse me, for the next layer, I'm gonna use designer series paper, but the same principle applies in that I'm using my little cheat sheet here. So let's get out our, let's just talk about designer series paper for a minute. So this that I'm using is designer series paper, so DSP, and it's from, oh my gosh, Celebration. So Peaceful Prints, you can't get this paper anymore. If you got it as one of your free items, then awesome sauce. And we're gonna use this, I have to use it sparingly because we're gonna use it in Stamp Camp. I think I have a couple 3-packs of it. So Peaceful Prints, and then of course, if you don't know, the matching colors are always listed here. So I typically cut this out and put it with the paper. So let me just show you a little bit. So they've got some reds. This is a pretty, I don't know what kind of tree that is. Maybe somebody can tell me. And then some snowflakes and the buffalo check. Love it. Hi, Janice. Morning. My boys are sleeping still, which is unusual. So I was trying to be super quiet this morning. They're probably up by now. Yeah, so we're gonna use this piece right here. I'm gonna use both sides of it actually. So this is gonna be the top section and then the trees will be the bottom. So I'm actually gonna cut this piece, our second layer, and it's directional, so be careful of that. So the direction, well, this one's directional. So the trees, I'm gonna want going this way. So it'll be 5 going across this way. Let's go 5. Don't be afraid to cut your designer series paper, ladies. Chop it up, use it, love it, showcase it. Took me a couple of years to figure that out. I have a bajillion stacks of designer series paper. I know you guys do too. So there's the layer, but this isn't the full layer. We're gonna cut it. So if you wanted an 1/8 of an inch, which would be more like this, the red to the green, the download should also have that on there. This is 1/4 of an inch. As far as these things, it should give you these. I mean, you can make it yourself too. It's just there quickly to help you as a tool. So this one's 3 3/4. I think I'm gonna leave the base more than the top. Look at this tree line. I'm gonna cut right there. It's like it was meant to be. So who has started their Christmas cards? I know some of you have because I've talked with you. I have not, y'all. I have not. Well, just the ones that I've made here in the classes in the Facebook Lives. And then of course we've done a few classes. All right, so here we go. This is what we've got so far. And now I'm gonna use, so I'm finished with this. We're gonna use this ribbon. What's this called? Metallic ribbon. It's shiny. Christmas cards always need some bling, right? When I think about Christmas, I'm just super excited. I love it. So we're gonna cover that up like that. And then we're gonna stamp and deal with a deer. So let's show you what to do with this. So here's a stamp pad, old, new. The old one, I had this, I don't know if you can see it in the light. Just class ones. Good for you, Janice. That's a good start anyways. Do you see how it's a bit bubbly and just not really, it's a bit dried out. I've had this pad for 5 years or so. Anyways, I have re-inked it a couple of times. I'm just not super happy with how it's going. It may be me, but I just decided to stop fussing with it, and for 10 bucks I'll just buy a new ink pad and then it's all good. Okay, so take the plastic off, and then this piece back here, fun fact kids, there's 2 layers here that you want to be mindful of. And the reason why there's 2 you want to be mindful is because depending on how you store them, they won't nest properly. So this is the first layer you want to take off. So these are your stickers. So different languages, because of course Stampin' Up! Is in different markets. So let's pop this guy out. So cherry cobbler, and then you can decide which end you want to put it in depending on how, again, how you store your stuff. And so I just kind of, usually I get my head over it, but I'm gonna wing it. And then opening this. So the idea with this clear sticker here at the bottom is that you're gonna put it in this little track in here. So if you had multiple stamp sets out, this is to help you know which stamp set is which color. I got a little fluffy there. So this goes in here. And then usually I just throw these away. I don't know, do you guys do anything else with these that maybe I don't know about, that I should know about? And then there's a trick here. Let me grab 2 things. So there's a couple things. I find that these tracks are super, like it's hard. It's hard to maneuver. So if you put some, what is this? Lip balm or Vaseline with a Q-tip along there and then along the tracks in here, it really works like a charm. So the reason why you want to take this second layer off is because they won't nest. So here's another one. And do you see how it has the little divots in there and the divots here? They're meant to nest, but it doesn't really nest all that well unless you take this back. It does nest, but it nests better if you take this second one off. Boom. Sometimes it doesn't come off all in one. And then it nests better. These are actually pretty colors together, so saffron and cherry cobbler. All right, so that's my little spiel on ink pads. Feel free to add something in the comments if there's a different trick that maybe I didn't share that you're aware of. All right, so this is my mini stamp cut and emboss machine, and I want to do my sentiment. So I'm putting my plates 1 and 2, and I need some paper. Is this gonna fit? Where's my scissors? So 1 and 2, and then I'm gonna put the other number 2 plate. So Kyle, the big winner on the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. Have you used it, Kyle? Good, Kyle. I'm glad that you saw that you're liking the tips on the ink pads. I remember getting them for the first time going, what the heck do I do with this? Okay, so there's our die cut piece for the sentiment. Be like the focal panel. All right, we're moving right along here. So okay, here's the next trick. Let me move all this stuff. So we have our stamp set, Holly Jolly Wishes. So there was a couple of folks who had asked, like, how do you store them? So another friend of mine, client as well, I was storing them with the sticky side down. And then she's like, how do you get these off? Like if you don't have nails. And then my friend Erica from Me to You Paper Craft, she's like, I store them like this. And I'm like, yeah, you do. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one, but while I'm here, and this is new, I'm gonna show you how to do this. So this one is Jingle All the Way. So you're gonna take this plasticky kind of background off. You're gonna find your matching sticker. You're gonna pull it off. Now, listen, this is just one way to do it. There's a few different ways to do it. This is just how I like to do it. So you could Google search or look on YouTube. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. So make sure your stamp is the right way around. Now, you get one shot at this. It's going down and it's staying down wherever it lands. So it's important to take the time to line it up, especially with sentiments, because you'll follow what it looks like on your stamp block. And if it's not on here properly, it's gonna stamp crooked every time. Ask me how I know that. So annoying, folks. Okay, so we're just lining it up. There it is. Another way to do it, I won't do any more, but some people take this off and then add the stamp to it. Some only take part off. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do it, but I just share with you one way. So these are cling stamps. These are photopolymer stamps. I'm gonna use this guy later. So when stamping, because this red rubber has a bit of squishiness to it, we don't need that little stamp pad like with the photopolymers to help it with its squishiness. So this is kind of where we're at. And then this is gonna go across here. And then we're gonna put a deer over here. So I'm gonna offset my sentiment just a touch over here. So let's see how our new ink pad goes. I haven't even used it yet. There we go, tap, tap, gentle. If I was smart, I would test my stamp. Straight up, straight down. Wow. Oh my God. This is so much better than just for kicks. I'm gonna show you what this hot mess looks like. I'm so happy with my purchase of $10. It's the little things. You know you're an addicted crafter when you get excited when it stamps properly. Okay, watch what has been happening to me. See? And I re-inked this like a bajillion times. Look at that. Woohoo! See you later, old stamp pad. All right, I'm confident now in this. So let's stamp this. Now, the Peaceful Deer Stamp Camp, which is coming up at the end of November 28th, I believe. We're using this stamp set. It's currently not orderable until November 1st, which is fine because that's tons of time to get it to us. And we're gonna do 9 projects. And we supply you with all the kits and all the doodads and everything. So I say we because 2 of my fellow demonstrators are joining. So it's a long one. It's not like a normal class that's just a couple of hours and we do 3 or 4 projects. It's a long one. All right, let's start getting this organized. I unclogged my glue this morning for you guys because I was waiting. Didn't seem to matter. Let's try again. There it is. Do you guys use wet glue or do you use the Stampin' Seal or like double-sided tape? What's your preference? Or do you have one? I like the I like wet glue because I can move stuff around. Okay, so I'm not going to stamp. I need to stamp on this, so I'm not going to put it down just yet, but let's do the front of the card. So we're going to do Cherry Cobbler again. I'm just finishing my Halloween cards this weekend to get those in the mail. Now, did anybody see my post? If you have someone that you are going to send a card to, or maybe you don't have any, or maybe there's someone you're thinking of, I will send them a Halloween card on your behalf. If you wish, just message me and I will send it, because I've got lots of projects ready to go. And I love it when people get cards because it makes them happy, and then that makes me happy. So they should get cards. Everyone should get a card. Oh, I have to get my ribbon rolling here. What's gonna happen here? I think I'm gonna go right to the edge, like so. Janice, you like the Tombow? Lori, you like the other version. Okay, with the tape runner. It's good. I have both. Just kind of gravitate to the wet glue, so I guess that's my preference. Is this right? Yes. I just had to check in with myself there for a second. What am I doing? Okay. Now let's get this ribbon on. Oh, I need my glue dots. So this ribbon, I'm going to glue dot. I just want to hide this seam. And so I'm going to glue dot and then I'm going to tuck. Glue and tuck. Whoops. I might do a couple of dots. So what else is going on? I have a date after this for a meeting with some crafters. It's called the Seashore Stampers. We make projects and whatnot. Why is my ribbon cockeyed? I'm gonna get my hair done. And then I'm gonna go visit my sister. You know how I remember when we were little and Sundays were the day, I realized today's not Sunday. Sundays were the day that you went around and visited, whoops, making a mess here. You went around and visited family. I feel like going to my sister's to have coffee and tea or whatever is, uh-oh, I didn't cut this long enough. It's like back then when I was a kid. Whew, it worked. This one might be a bit tight. It's not long enough. Can I salvage this? Carefully. Maybe I'll try and leave the glue dot there. My ribbon's not long enough to tuck. I might have to just leave it. Oh, now I've messed it up. Uh-oh, we got a situation. These glue dots are serious. Oh, that's better. Whew, only got one little nick there. Let's try that again. And I'm going to make my ribbon longer so that it can tuck better. Yeah, so it's nice to be able to go and visit as well. All right, back to the glue and the comments. It does depend on what you're doing. Janice, I totally agree. There are some instances where one or the other just will not do. Lori uses Terran tape. Not a fan of the tape runner. So there's a trick to getting that to release. I'll admit I'm not a super fan of the, whatchamacallit, the Stamp and Seal, but when I learned how to make it release properly, I was a lot happier with it. I can show you that. Aha, this is tucking much better. Beauty. Let's tuck over on this side. I actually want this a bit shorter. All right. Going to be traveling with work again for a bit at the beginning of November. Going to do a North Island tour. So I'm going to do Quadra, Sayward, Port Hardy. Maybe I'll go see friends in Campbell River Detachment and Comox. Yeah. So that'll be good. All right. And then this is gonna go here. Let's stamp our deer. I think that rhymed. All right, so in the stamp set, let me put this away. We're very close to being done. Now I'm just gonna put this away. I think I'm gonna stamp my deer in crumb cake. Whoops, crumb cake. The sample card had the buffalo check. So in the paper, which is buried, so I can't show you, it had the punch, which is here. It punches out from the designer series paper. And I'm just realizing that this is not, will this match? Oh yes, yes it matches. I thought from this picture, see how it's backwards? I thought, oh no, the stamp isn't gonna work, but it's okay. Is this big enough? We're gonna use this piece. Now I should have my little mat, but I'm just going. Might not be dark enough, but let's see. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm good with that. Now, where's my, I wanna just color this. Do I? I'm gonna see. First we're gonna punch it out. So we're using the punch, we're opening it this way, and then we're gonna put the paper in here to line up our doodad. So just try and line it up the best you can. And squeeze, make sure not to get your hand stuck in the edge. I feel like it needs to be in a different color. Too bland. Need some cardstock. So let's go with, actually Sahara Sand is looking pretty good. Let's try this again. I might want a bit darker. What do I do? Judy, I work for the RCMP. I'm not an RCMP member, but I am the Island District Administration Manager. So, yes. Yeah, and then I have a team of 12 amazing people down at headquarters. And then I look after the 26 detachments, and there's about 140 public servants amongst the 26 detachments, plus my team and me. What do we think? I'm happier with that, but I still feel like I want it colored. A little color. So I go, and when I go to detachments, it's usually to help a detachment commander do some, yeah, anything to do with administration for their detachment. So I'll go in and visit, make recommendations, do like little mini audits and stuff. You can imagine how popular I am. just trying to find the right color here to color him. It's not working for me. One moment. Let's try these colors. So these are the blends. These are the Stampin' Write markers. So you can, let me show you a trick. Did you know with the Stampin' Write markers, you can use them to color your stamps. So let's do this one, for example. So this little tree, you can, there's two different tips. One's a brush tip and one's a not brush tip. This is not really a good example because it's a pretty big stamp. You kind of want to do, oh yeah, this one. So instead of dipping it in your ink pad, it's just in the version of a pen. And then you get the same effect. So it's good, like if this isn't gonna look good at all, but I'll do it anyways. It looks terrible. So don't use it on a big stamp, but it's good for little stamps. So sometimes if a stamp, I don't have a good example. If a stamp has two kind of images on it, then you would, you know, color, say if it was a holly, you would color the leaves in green, and then you could take your red Stampin' Write marker and color the berries and then stamp it, and it would have the two colors. I just don't have an example of a stamp like that right now. So I don't know what to do with this guy because I'm afraid if I color him, it's not gonna look very good. Let's try his tail. Oh yeah, that's okay actually. I'm doing it. The blends are working better for me. One moment please as I just quickly color this deer. So I'm designing my cards for Stamp Camp today with the Peaceful Deer. So the other, each demonstrator does 3 projects. So a standard card, a fun fold, and like a 3D item. So you'll get 3 cards, 3 fun folds, and then 3 3D items. And then we make them in class, of course. And then of course you get videos and tips and all that jazz. So I'm due to have mine ready. I think I'm going to showcase cards that are heat embossed. Do you remember the one that I did? I don't see it here. Oh, here it is. This one I did at a Facebook Live, same set, but this one has heat embossed, both of those. So that was a fun one to make as well. All right, just gonna do his little ears and then we're ready. To put it all together, I'm gonna make his tail dark too, and his little hoofs. Okay. It's a lot of stuff. Let's get rid of all this and bring in our card. All right, so we have, let's pop this up with our dimensionals. And then I think we're gonna be done. Now, this, oh, I hear the boys. They're up. I feel like he needs something. He needs some wink. A glittery deer. I might have actually heat embossed him. I think I really kind of only do heat embossing in the Christmas months. Just not graduate to it, but am drawn to it. That's the word I'm looking for. All right. There. This little tail. That's a bit better. Let's put a dimensional on him. And then I've got my little baby dimensionals because the little body. Do a little one there. Perfect. Now I'm gonna put some of these black dots. So these are Cute Star adhesive backs. Now these are from the Halloween stuff. So they're little sequins, woo, that already have a backing on them. So I'm just gonna use the black. Ooh, it's a jumpy. I'll do a small, so there's a large and small. There. I think that's it. I'm gonna put one little dimensional under. I should have done two. I'm gonna do some surgery here. I wanna just, you might not be able to see it on camera, but the deer is kind of lopsided. So I wanna add a dimensional under the dimensional that's already there. Can you see that? And then he's all the same height. That's it. That's the card, folks. So Stamp Camp Snow Builder class. Today's the deadline for the Snow Builder registration. And Stamp Camp, you still have time to register for that one. And the download is there for you. What else do I have for you? I think that's about it. Those are all my goodies for today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and bye for now.